Having life insurance is so important, but knowing what type of life insurance you actually have is even more important. Here to help us understand why we need to own our own life insurance and not rely solely on our employer's plan is the president of Family First Life, Shawn Mike, and Senior Vice President Brian Mendenhall. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So nice to have you on the Balancing Act again. All right, Shawn, let me start with you. Kind of remind our viewers, if you don't mind, about Family First and the mission.
The mission's simple. We launched a company. We wanted to educate as many consumers as we could about life insurance. Number one, do you actually have any? What should you have? How do you get it? Let them know how easy it is to obtain. Let them know how affordable it can be for them. We have so many agents out there like Brian that serve people all over the country. But when you sit down with somebody like Brian or the other thousands of agents we have, they realize how simple it is, how easy it is to apply for and obtain it.
And Brian, we have actually a great picture of you with a family there. You spend hours, you give that time to them. And I'll be honest, it's really a conversation that's not even pleasant to have, right?
No, it's never pleasant. Most people never want to talk about death, but it's necessary. Without this coverage, you leave your family stuck, you leave them without protection, and they literally have nothing.
Exactly.
You know?
So let's talk about why it's important to own life insurance. What do you mean by that, Shawn?
What I mean by that is a lot of people, their employer will give them a life insurance policy,
right.
Which is, I've had jobs where they said, you know, part of your employment package is you have life insurance. I never asked.
And you're thrilled.
I never asked what it was, how long it was good for. I never knew. And by the way, when I left my job, it didn't go with me. I worked there for 13 years. I had a policy for 13 years. I left the job. It did not come with me. So now I had to start all over again. If I had had medical issues that precluded me from getting life insurance, I wouldn't have got a policy.
Oh, I see.
We don't know if I'm at the job and I get sick and I have to leave the job, because they usually won't keep, I mean, every situation is different, but they tend, if you get really ill and can't work, you can lose your job. Now do I lose my life insurance as well? So the consumer has to educate themselves on what they have. And at the end of the day, if you don't own it, you don't control it. So you need to make sure you have something that's yours, that you're the owner on, you pick the beneficiaries, and you have total control what that policy does.
That makes a good point, because one can say, well, I got some life insurance, but if it's through your employer, you don't think about the fact that when you leave, it's gone, or if something happens during that time period, it's over.
Or if the company changes hands or management or just philosophies, and they just change the life insurance. They have every opportunity, they have every right to do that.
Brian, I know you have a story, a personal story to share with us to kind of put it all into perspective. Can you share that with us?
I do. When I first got into life insurance 10 years ago, I covered all my family. I said, everyone needs coverage. The only person I didn't cover was my Aunt Tina. She actually had 3 times her salary through work, so she made $100,000. That's $300,000 worth of life insurance.
So she was kind of like, I don't need it, I'm good.
She's got a lot, you know, and I was new, so I didn't know any better. The problem is that she actually ended up getting sick. She came down with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, the problem with that is at first her job said, go ahead and get better. Come on back when you're ready, you know. The problem is nobody gets better from that. She was a fighter. She kept fighting and fighting and fighting. Eventually, she ended up actually getting let go from her job. The problem with that is a month later, she then passes away.
With no life insurance.
With no coverage, because she wasn't actively working. The problem with work coverage is literally, if you're not there anymore, it's like a company car. They'll take the keys and you no longer have coverage. We didn't even have money for her funeral because it was all the money she had was at her job. We literally scraped money together just to bury her with no dignity. The problem is you're gonna leave a legacy either way, whether you have coverage or you leave no coverage. Either way, you're leaving a legacy.
And this is really important for viewers to hear, because even someone like me, I really wasn't aware of this. So the bottom line, Shawn, is?
The bottom line is you have to educate yourself. And if you don't know, that's why we have so many agents out there. We'll come out, sit down with you, go over what you have, get your employer policy, teach you the questions to ask. You can make a phone call in front of the agents like Brian. Brian will say, hey, call them up. I'll sit here, I'll help you ask the questions. Let's figure out what you actually have and then educate you on what you would actually have for protection if you owned it.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you for what you do. For our viewers, Shawn, who'd like more information, where do they go?
FamilyFirstLife.com. You go on our website, that'll give you information on how to find an agent, how to obtain a policy, how to get educated on a policy, or if you're looking to get a life insurance license and want to work with us and help people out, because we need more people to help more families.
Thanks so much for what you do.
Thank you for
Again,
having
I'm
us.
so sorry for your loss, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information on anything that we spoke about right now, you can go to our website, thebalancingAct.com.